whilst Champions League was busy yesterday, the likes of Real Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester United was playing EFL Cup, Carabao Cup against Barnsley.
I just needed. Just avoid people. United.
Well, well, Liverpool showed their class after going behind by 1 goal to nil. And also Real Madrid, the likes of Mbappe, Hendrick once again score a massive goal as well. This is what we term class. And Champions League is about class. If you are not champion, you can't be there. But then one thing that bothers me in the Champions League, this format they are playing, like, I don't actually get it. Do you think it's better than the previous format?
Yeah, I feel like in a way it's better than the previous format, and in a way too it's a disadvantage to the players because now they are playing so many matches, including their domestic leagues and also the cups they play in their various leagues. So I feel like now the fixtures are more congested for the players. It's like now they play every 3 days. Then they also go for international breaks. They go play for their national teams. So I feel like for we football fans, we enjoy seeing more matches on screen, but for the players, it's a disadvantage to them. And whenever the players play more matches like that, they are being exposed to injuries. And, we should expect more of the injuries this season because players can't play all the matches unless maybe the coaches have a plan to rest the players and maybe introduce those on the bench into the setup as time goes on. But if they are being consistent with players on the field, like maybe playing 15 continuous or 20 continuous matches, definitely it will get to a time the muscles, will get tired and the players will start, getting those injuries. So I feel like for we, the fans, we are okay with it, but for the players, it's a disadvantage to them.
If you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video. Sammy, Real Madrid versus Stuttgart was absolutely incredible game. Stuttgart showed that football is made in German, but then Real Madrid with their quality still show what they can do on a brighter day. What do you think about that game?
I think it was one of the interesting games that happened yesterday. And funny enough, if you do not watch the game, you might think that, yeah, it's obvious, it's Real Madrid. But then what really went into the game was a different ball game altogether. We saw that Stuttgart actually brought the game to Madrid, played wonderfully, but then at the end of the day, they were not able to convert their chances. And that's what every time these top people, professionals say, anytime you play against Real Madrid, it doesn't matter how bad they play. You have to score them, put the ball in the net. And one of the things you also have to talk about is the likes of Courtois. That is why I think he's still the best keeper in the world, because for a keeper of this caliber, making so many saves and at the end of the game becoming the man of the match, it shows you how Real Madrid suffered. But at the end of the day, we saw the likes of Real Madrid, Mbappe, the likes of Rudiger, and also Hendrick scoring these wonderful goals for Madrid. So I think it was a good game for Real Madrid.
How about this Liverpool side, where we saw them actually going behind by 1 goal to nil, playing away from home against AC Milan? But then at the end of the day, Arne Slot showed what he's capable of doing. This could have been a massive defeat for Liverpool under his era, but then he turned things around. You think he's that class of a coach people are looking at him?
Yeah, after having an impressive start to the season, with an Slot's team not conceding a goal in the league. I think just last weekend they slipped and Nottingham Forest went to Anfield and win by a goal to nil. So I think that's the first time an Slot's team has conceded this season, if I'm right with that. But it's Liverpool, and we expected them to go to San Siro to get the result. The Italian clubs have not been performing well against the English sides. Whenever they meet them, it's their best is even a draw. So Liverpool going into this game, I felt like Liverpool had a double chance. There was no way Liverpool was going to San Siro to go lose the match against AC Milan. Though they had a very nice start to the game with Christian Pulisic scoring on the 3rd minute, and I felt like it was going to be a difficult game for Liverpool. Maybe they will just get a draw, but when you have experienced players like Virgil van Dijk in your team, you are rest assured that he will know how to talk to the boys and keep them moving. So they go back into the game with Konate getting a goal, Virgil van Dijk scoring, and also Dominic Soboslai with a third goal for Liverpool. It's a great start to the Champions League for Arne Slot, and we hope to see him in the next matches. But for Liverpool, we can't say much about them. They are experienced in this competition. AC Milan went off for a while. They are just trying to get back to their feet. Last seasons, we saw them against Newcastle and the Paris Saint-Germain with the old format in the Champions League. And yeah, they slipped, and they are trying to get the AC Milan they know back by playing in the Champions League regularly. So I think with time, they also get back to the normal level that we used to know AC Milan in some past years, that they used to bring those players on board and play in the Champions League. Kudos to Arne Slot's Liverpool for getting the results against AC Milan.
Once again in the Champions League, I think it's been long time I see this kind of goals happening. Bayern Munich taking on Dynamo Zagreb, and it was 9 goals to 2. That's massive, 11 goals in one Champions League game. That's absolutely massive. And Harry Kane got his second career Champions League hat trick. Sammy, do you think he made a right decision by joining Bayern, or if he was still in Tottenham Hotspur, he could have gotten such a level?
I think obviously Harry Kane had paid his dues for Tottenham, so he needed to go for a fresh start, go and look for something new, and especially get a trophy in his cabinet. And the team that was suitable for his way of play is Bayern Munich. And yes, looking at yesterday, he had 4 goals, 3 of them being good penalties. I don't think he would have had the same opportunity if he was in Tottenham. Having a team like Bayern Munich, where you know that they score goals and they know they score maybe 1 or 2, but at the end of the day, they can score 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, they have no scoring limit. And that's what happened yesterday. They started a very good game. Goals were coming from every side of the pitch. Even funny enough, for a player who came in for just 9 minutes, also had a goal. So it shows how Bayern Munich is pushing on. At the end of the day, we saw that Vincent Company came out and spoke about a critic who talked about why he can't handle a team like Bayern Munich. But obviously, Bayern Munich, at this stage, playing in the home Allianz Arena, you don't expect anything than more goals. So that's what happened. And congratulations to Harry Kane for scoring that brilliant hat-trick. And in fact, 4 goals in a game, in the Champions League game.
Aston Villa also actually proved their critics wrong by going to young boys who have a lot of experience in Champions League than Aston Villa, and then was able to win by 3 goals to 0. Young boys versus Aston Villa. Ima, your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's one of those matches that I didn't expect Aston Villa to win with that margin. I felt like it was going to be close, but with an experienced coach like Unai Emery, and there are some players in the Aston Villa team that we should watch very carefully. They have a World Cup winner in the person of Emiliano Martinez in the post, Yuri Telemans. They have these boys that they can you rely on when they want the result. I feel like as young boys have been in the Champions League, but this Aston Villa squad and the result they got yesterday was really amazing. And it was an away match. Let's not
Yeah.
forget they went to Switzerland to score young boys. They are one of those teams that maybe they'll give us some surprising results this Champions League, because with the way they played against young boys and the results they got. Yeah, I feel their coach really, really did well with Ahmad Onana on the score sheet. I think Yuri Telemans and one other guy. So they scored 3 unanswered goals. It's not like young boys even got a goal in the game. It was 3-0. Kudos to Unai Emery for that amazing performance. I'm hoping that in their next league game it won't affect them, because when they travel outside to play and you come back to the EPL, you now have to start rotating the players in a way that you also get the results in the Premier League. So I'm just looking at how he will combine the EPL and the Champions League proper.
Juventus, who has been silent in their league in Serie A for quite a number of games right now. Actually, going into the Champions League, I don't think they were favorite, but then they proved that Champions League football is totally different from leagues football. Sammy, your take on Juventus?
Actually, I watched the game. It's been a lot of games, so I wanted to refresh my memory. I watched the game, and in fact, Juventus proved that they are still a force to reckon. PSV did all what they could, but in their final third of the game, I did not see much from PSV. Looking at the likes of De Jong, who is one striker that, in fact, he has had a very good career, who actually even played in Barcelona. But at the end of the day, we saw that Juventus had the game at their feet, and they pushed the game to PSV. Looking at scoring, especially 3 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, scoring 3 goals is
3 goals
the
to
thing
one.
that, yeah, 3 goals to 1 is something that the Juventus this season have been doing. If you watch the Serie A, is if not three, they've scored 3 consecutively, and they went for a draw in the last game, and they came back scoring 3 again. So I think it's something that is good with Juventus. And what will hurt the Juventus goalkeeper is letting a goal like that happen at the very dying minute of the game, whilst you have been able to keep a very good clean sheet, and then at the end of just the little time for everything to end, you concede. By the end of the day, I think the Juventus fans were happy. The boys and everyone involved with the teams knew that, of course, playing at home, they needed a win. So it's something that we should watch out for Juventus this season. Though they are still not at their top form yet, but I still think that we should look out for Juventus.
And you're talking about the champions, you have to mention our club. Yeah, Arsenal.
Arsenal is playing tomorrow for sure, and probably we'll be bringing you the post-match reactions to that match as well. So if you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And hey, more content is coming on your way. Remember,
United,
some, huh?
we have not talked about.
That's okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, you know.
okay.
You can't
So,
start with
uh,
United and not talk about them. What do you mean?
well, Manchester United, whilst others are playing Champions League yesterday, United were playing Carabao Cup with Barcelona. And I think the fans of United actually fall in love with the club again by scoring Barcelona 7 goals to 0. This shows that United is back.
I didn't know United were playing. With the result they got against Southampton, anything team in the league can score
No,
Southampton.
it's
So
Barcelona.
it's still Manchester United. So let's calm down. Manchester United and Chelsea, when they get the results, you have to just calm down, watch them consistently, prove that same
No,
performance continuously for you to now assess them properly. But
no,
with
Sammy,
one game. No, I didn't even know. Yesterday I thought Champions League matches they were going to play champ. I didn't know they were playing EFL games. So later on in the night, I took my phone and I saw
okay.
Alejandro Garnacho's celebration. I was like, what is going on? So later on, I went to Live Score and I saw that Manchester United played a game and they scored 7. I was like, oh, let me go check the team they played against. And there's a team in England called Barnsley. I don't know whether they are in Championship or I don't League One. Or I don't even know.
I don't think they are in championship.
Who gave them to Manchester United? Oh Jesus! Yeah, let's give them like the congratulations that they scored 7. But for me, I don't think it's a serious game. A game that Anthony scores a goal, that game is not a serious game. Yeah. Have you seen Anthony score a goal for Manchester United in a game before? When was the last time you saw Anthony score a
Ah,
goal for
so
Manchester United?
So are you saying that since Antonio arrived in
and
United,
and
he has never
and
scored a goal?
I'm sure 50% of Manchester United fans didn't watch the game yesterday because they were watching Real Madrid, they were watching Liverpool, they were watching big teams in Europe yesterday. So how would they watch Manchester United play against Barnsley? It is Barnsley, so please let's just throw it in the bin somewhere and focus on the big guys playing in the Champions League. It's just a 7-0 win for Manchester United. There's nothing special. It's just Barnsley. That's all.
I don't think Sami have the same view. Sami, what do you think? Getting clean sheet in that game with 7 goals, don't you think this is the second consecutive win they've had this season? Don't you think it's going to boost the players and the
Yeah,
manager?
so
Eric Ten Hag said he's a trophy manager, so they can end up winning the Carabao Cup.
because we don't have a Manchester United supporter on this platform, I would just be a little bit neutral. But first of all, I think looking at the last game, that's playing against Southampton, going to get a win away and coming to play the EFL and getting 7 goals to 0, which it's been a long time Manchester United ever dreamt of scoring a team like that. I think let's give them the benefit of the doubt and let's give them their flowers, because scoring 7 goals is not easy, especially looking at how the front line for United has been very poor.
No, Same, sorry to cut you, but scoring 7 goals against teams sometimes are
Let me,
are
let
very
me
easy.
yes, let me
When
let me
when
finish.
Manchester United are going to play against teams like Barnsley, you don't expect them to be, scoring 1-0 or 2-0 against them. Same, we have to be honest.
Let me finish. Let me
Okay,
finish.
you finish.
So
You land.
as I was saying, and we made mention of the lives of Ruvan Troy helping Marcus Rashford up front. And when you are playing football, you need sometimes you need little things like this to boost your confidence. It helps you bit by bit and it grows. But then we saw that Rashford scored 2 goals, Ericsson scored 2 goals, and Garnacho scored 2 goals. And our own Anthony scored a penalty, which is an exciting thing for United. But my advice to us United fans is that they should not take it so serious like that, because at the end of the day, you should assess the team that you played against. And we all know that Manchester is not any team that is a force to reckon with. So you should just take it to the pinch of salt. Those is excitement time. I see that there's a lot of Man U fans saying that bring it on, bring the likes of Man City, bring the likes of Arsenal, bring the likes of Liverpool. I know it's encouraging, but if you face facts, if you face the reality, I think Manchester still needs a lot of time. So this is just a good way to excite the fans again. But at the end of the day, the end justifies the means.
And justify the means for sure. Ima, you still don't believe that they
I,
scored 7 goals to nil?
I don't think there's much to say about Manchester United. They got the results. Let's just give them, that yeah, it's okay. Manchester United scored 7. Yeah, we've understood them. They played very well
I
against
want you,
Barnsley. No,
which
no,
you
no. They
say
played
United
very well
scored.
against Barnsley. I even thought Anthony scored from open play. It was even a penalty. Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for giving me that
Uh,
update. I thought maybe
All right, guys.
he never passed about 7 players and he scored. It was even a penalty. Okay, thank you very much. So let's just leave it as it is right now. Reward them in the next match in the EPO. Yeah.
Okay. Watch them in the EPL, guys. And if you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And we're going to see you in the next video. Ciao.